She don't care, right? You don't want to be a mother yet? You're too young. You're a feminist. He's still, I mean, he's not that insistent. He back off and pretend like he's not chasing her. He go like, and then start spinning around. Now she's chasing him? For real? I don't know. They're still together, but there has not been any action. It's platonic. Anyway, yeah, that's the last thing I watched. I mean, she was unbelievable. She was brutal. I was like, how come nobody have, at the very least, bitch slap her. At the very least. At the very least. I remember when she used to talk about Whitney. Oh my gosh, she would go like, I mean, with the whites, especially if they were so powerful whites, then she would say, drug addiction is a disease. But with Whitney Houston, she was like, whoa. She was like, always go like, she was like, oh my God, merciless. And then she had the nerve when Whitney died. She said, it's like, oh, she was great. No jokes today. No jokes today. It was like, bitch, who the fuck is you? I mean, like, I don't know how she's still alive. The way she talk about some people, not all people, I mean, I only watched probably 3 of her specials. And she wasn't even funny. It's just that she was outrageous. She was outrageous, like saying shit about and nobody beat her up. Nobody beat her up. I mean, like Wendy Williams, she got scared a few times. That's why she had to change. She had to change her ways. Because, wow, she was going in too. But it's just crazy what people will do for attention. And then they gave her a sitcom. I remember. It's like at the beginning of the century or something. And I don't know what they put on her, Botox or I don't know. She didn't look too bad. I mean, she was a supporting role. I don't even remember, but it was like, wow. And then she got super ugly. That's when everybody starts saying that she's not having access to adrenal, the chrome. And it's like, wow. And I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about that, because that is like a before and after. Like a before and after. I mean, she's like literally, she is the double of carrot cake. Except, carrot cake, the ugly version. And carrot cake is ugly as fuck. But she was like, she will say like, get out of my way. In an ugly contest, she will knock carrot cake off the stage. Literally. That bitch is ugly as fuck, like unbelievable. Oh my God, it's just, and I have heard, a lot of privileged stories. But I believe that this is like one of the top ones. Good morning. Oh my god, this thing got stuck. Gonna go give him this one since he's already over here. He's some gay guy that he went to he's a vandal. And they say that his brother had committed suicide. 7.5 Now I know. I didn't want to be rude talking. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of privileged stories. I mean, like, it's like, oh, no problem. No problem. You are such and such family. Like, oh, yeah, we understand. We give you time. We give you the like, whatever. And if you don't have a last name, if you don't have money, like, that's it. This is how you know that when it happened to somebody, from the people, that person is a snitch, or that, whatever, when you see them on television, it's like, oh, you see, they achieved justice. They got the justice. They put it on, what is it, Channel 7, whatever, Channel 5, and it's so beautiful. It's like, oh yeah, I fought my landlord and I won. I met so many people that like, not even, and they what's it called? I mean, they had accidents, I knew this woman, the ceiling fell on her, and they still wouldn't come. I mean, a whole chunk of the ceiling fell on her where she was sleeping. Nothing. So I always wonder, like, oh, how come you have success stories? And how come, like, like all these people in Housing Works and GMHC, whatever, they been like years trying to get transferred to another apartment or whatever, I mean, that's how you gotta learn how to work the non-profits. You gotta learn how to, because people become a statistic. That's it. It is sad to say. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be going to the consulate. I'm glad I feel a little bit better now. Let me go get my papers ready. You say like around 10. It's 8:38. I can't believe I'm not cold. I mean, my feet are, but I'm not cold today. Finally. I like to come out at like around 6. I mean, not here, but you can go anywhere, without the sun. Because the later you come, then you have to, I have wear a hat. So I always have like, see my nose. And I keep asking everybody about the moringa oil, which is really good for that. Nothing. They're crazy. I mean, like, oh, you're supposed to. Oh, you're in the United States. You're in New York City. You can get anything you want. You can. Oh, you're right. Yeah, probably you can get it. I don't know. I gotta order from another country. But it is really good. That's why it's fresh. It was like the CBD oil, you know, they made it illegal like 10 years ago. I was like, that shit must have been good. Because, you know, that, I mean, you know, marijuana, whatever, you know, that shit, you know, was always, not always, but, you know, it was illegal forever, you know, but, and now you can buy it, but a small bottle, $45, $50. Like what? And if you want the organic without the extras, then you're on your own, because then it's probably like 75. Crazy. I don't know if this is really that expensive. I mean, like, and it's not even weed. It's hemp. Because I was looking at, I hate to say it, Wally. You know, the Wally store. And they have these big bottles, you know, I don't know what it was. Hemp, something. It was hemp. And then I kept looking at them. They're all hemp. I think they're all hemp. Extract or something. Oh my God. I don't feel like going anywhere. I mean, like where? Where? Where would I go? You know, because it was a holiday, I didn't go to Brooklyn. You know, to see the shrink. So I like that because it's you know, my appointment is at 9:30 in the morning. At 10 o'clock I finish, and I'm already halfway through. I can go to Brownsville. Can't believe it, you know, $3 for a bucket of watermelon. You know, like the Chinese soup, the large containers. Oh, wow. Except it's even bigger because it's a clear container. I compare them, and the clear is even wider. $3. I'm like, and I went back, and still $3, and really good with seeds and everything. I'm like, I mean, I don't want to live in Brownsville. To tell you the truth, I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, like, over here is no walk in the park. You know, I don't know. They had the, you know, the Latin American radio station, you know, La Mega, which is 97.6, something like that. They don't even have Twitter. You know, This is how these cowards are. So they was reading this, the super AI picked the worst neighborhoods, the most violent neighborhoods in New York City. And of course, these Dominicans had to say Harlem is number one. Harlem is number one. And then they said, I think it was Brownsville. East New York was number, I don't know what order they read it. I'm like, they have this woman that she's despicable. She was like, oh, you see, people are so always concerned about AI, but it's really good because it's really giving us information about our city. I mean, like, wow. I mean, talk about a prostitute. I mean, like, literally. I mean, any sellout is nauseating. But I think the Dominicans is like, wow, they do it like so eager, like to please my slave master. And I was like, yeah, but there's nothing to fear about AI. Oh, go away. You see this? Catch this. Unbelievable. And I went and looked him up on Twitter, just to say, like, they shut down their Twitter account. That's how despicable these sellouts are. Like, so you cannot make this shit up, with these people. And that's, it's been for so long. It's been going on for so long that, they just, it's their second nature, just to sell out. They just go and, especially when it's against IT. Here you go. Especially if it's against IT, that's like, whoa. It's like all day, all night. This is like, I stopped watching their channels. They are such a tiny little brothel. Okay, let's say country. And they have hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels. And half of them are journalists. Half of them are journalists that they cannot even catch fire. Like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And they all always full of hate, always saying, like, oh, Haitian invasion. We're getting invaded. And we gotta get, like, save our country. Like, what do you mean save your country? From what? Meanwhile, they're all here in the United States. There's more Dominicans here in the United States than over there. It's empty. If it wasn't because of their Haitian brothers, the women, they would be totally alone. And there wouldn't be nobody to do nothing. They don't want to pay them. They take their documentation away. They take their papers away so they don't have to pay them. They pay them whatever they want. They say that they're worse than the crackers. That's how despicable they are. So every time I hear them in the street, talking about Jesus or whatever, like, it's like, Jesus didn't say, talk shit against your neighbor, your own brother, your own Haitian brother. I tell him, I'll go to your church if you stop talking shit against your own neighbors. Oh, no. You don't understand. We're getting invaded. We're getting like, no, I understand. I understand the ones who gave you your freedom from slavery was your Haitian brothers. That's what I understand. They took the chains off of you. And what you do, you turn around and you declare your independence because you want a white slave master and you don't want to have nothing to do with Haitians because they love being black. Meanwhile, these ones keep saying they're not black. We're not black. I'm telling you, like, they are the darlings of New York City. Unbelievable. Yeah. Thanks to them, we have Eric Adams, a cop. We got a cop as the mayor of New York City. I mean, you can look it up. It's in the media. Look at the primary elections. Who voted for that bleep? They all went out and voted because they have all these non-profits. They receive billions of dollars. I remember when, it was like a couple months ago, it was like, I got this taxi driver. He was like, Jesus and just pray and Jesus, He was like, immediately from the beginning, he was like, kind of like exercising me, kind of like thing. And it's like, yeah, but you can, what is the point? You just gotta pray, I have my power with Jesus. And that's it. And with Jesus, and we do whatever. It's like, okay, so I let him go for a while, and once we crossed the bridge in Brooklyn, I started telling him, like, hey, yeah, you keep praying it out while your president spent $100,000 in one night throwing a party for Bill Clinton in Soho. He got quiet. I went in like bam, 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 bam. Goodbye. He's like, you know a lot. Yeah, of course I know a lot because I don't have the radio listening to bullshit. Listening to damn propaganda. I don't do that. And that is the problem. The problem is that we have turned lazy. And we think it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna delegate. I'm gonna allow strangers to let me know what's happening. Yeah, I'm gonna trust these peons, they work for them. What do you think? You think they can actually say something? They read teleprompters. They cannot just get out of the script and go and say, oh, blah, 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 blah. No. If they're gonna, the ones that they let them go without the leash, and they can like make a couple of comments on their own, those are the ones that they're like proven, that they're always being faithful to the crackers, and they have a very long tongue, to lick the boots and lick their ass, for years. And sometimes they actually like Cardi B, they let her tell some shit, because they use that as a smoke screen and like to say like people, oh, you see, there's freedom. There is freedom, like she actually, I mean, I remember she was one of the one, well, I heard she was a whistleblower in 2019. I think it was it early 2020? Early 2020 that she was talking about all these senators and, Congress freaks, dumping stock. There was dumping stock and getting the good stock, which, that was in corporations that do the sanitizer, all that stuff. So they didn't lose shit. And there it is, all that information. They have the list of all the legislators, just dumping stock right before all the madness, started. I mean, over here, because I know there was a madness everywhere else, but we didn't even have face masks. We didn't have, the satanizer, nothing. So they wasn't bothering us until, they bought stock in those corporations, and then, oh no, you have to have a bottle. You have to have a bottle and everything, Every taxi driver, they tell you, you have to clean your hands with that shit. It's like, I'm not touching that shit. I'm not touching nothing that got a damn label on it. Anything the Crackers touches, because it's already been compromised, and it got something, and actually there was, I think somebody did a study and they found like three carcinogenics in the things. It's like, oh my god. I remember seeing people like they was like addicted to that shit, addicted in the train, and it felt like it was like, and then you go like, damn, it's stinking so bad, and it was like, wow. And there were some, they had a spray in the train. They had to spray it. Then it was like, you go like, unbelievable. They trust these corporations. They trust the damn Crackers. I think that's how we stopped talking with my sister at a time, She asked me about, and I say, you think I'm gonna trust the same people who stole more than 60% of our land? Now they want what's best for us. They're worried about us now. And that was a thing I never heard from my sisters until like 5 months ago. I actually sent her a documentary, so I might not even hear from her again. It's a very good documentary from Spain. Shit is from Spain, like, and it's like reliving the whole lockdowns, the whole thing, just like, and it's crazy that they're over there across the Atlantic, and they went through the same shit that everybody went through. The fear mongering, like, it was like AIDS all over again. I remember it was like, wow, people were just, I don't know. If I had been depressed or something, I probably would have just, in 1985, because I was still a virgin. I was like, oh my god, I will never have sex. I was like, like literally they was telling you, sex is gonna kill you. Sex is gonna kill you. I was only fucking 23, 22 years old. I was 21 years old actually. I was 23 when I got to the United States. But I think I was like 20 or 21. And because over there, in my hometown, I don't know if now they do it too, but they used to have the United Slaves tabloids, the Inquirer, and even the magazines too, People, all that stuff, and I was like, she's just waiting to pay at the register and watch and looking at these magazines. You were like, I'm telling you, I was 20, 21 years old, and I was like, that's what they wanted. And I heard several people they did it. Several people they. I mean, and not just in a literal sense, you know. It's like a lot of people, and I think that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. You know, like, you know, now they call it like, you know, condom fatigue. Yeah, this is that bullshit fatigue. Bullshit fatigue that you go like, oh, come on. I mean, how much longer are you gonna be like with this thing hovering? You're gonna die. You're gonna catch it. You're gonna die. You're gonna catch it. You're gonna die. You know, like. It was very, very stressful. Very stressful, and to see it again in my lifetime with this freaking virus, you know, like people still going around with double muscle, and you go like, wow. And it's always seemed to be like, I mean, I don't know, you cannot see them, but they seem like it's always the ugliest ones. The one that they want to leave. They want to leave. They're 350 pounds, but they want to leave. They have 3 triple masks. They have like, oh my God. And the hot ones, you know, that you see like, damn, very hot. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They go like, I know it's a very shallow thing. It's a very, very stupid thing to say, but it's like, you go like, oh my God, you know, 105-year-old bitch, skin and bones, you know, with a mask, with a shield, with a spray, like, bitch, you're, well, maybe she wasn't 105 years old. Maybe she was just a cracker, right? It's like, she could have been 45. She could have been 40 years old. That shit happened. I have seen it. I have seen it. I mean, like, I don't know if they're lying, you know, that they look 80 and like, no, she's 45. Because, you know, the crackers, they like to be skinny, like, Anyway, let me go look for my birth certificate and wait for his call. I'm gonna change shoes. Oh shit, I gotta pee again. Of course I have to pee. I'm like, I have half a thing of coffee. Anyway, I haven't really thought about it, you know. I'm like, wow. So yeah, that shit is twice. But in the 80s, that shit was the worst. Yeah. And it's just like the imagination, you know, you let the imagination go on. And they were shameless. I think it's the same mom with the 3 babies. They're still so dependent on her. The mom is smaller than they are. You see how small, how tiny she is? But she's still taking care of her babies. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. I can't believe this is the 3rd time I see them right here in the park. This is what kill you too, you know, because damn, you see like bitches, they couldn't even care less. You know, every time they get a text message from their children, they go like, now what? Now what? It's just like, no me joda. Oh my God, they're always, they always want something. They always this, they always that. But look at this mother. They got electroshock or something because they jumped. I hope it's coming out, the video. This is so sweet. Yeah, they look big, but they're probably still very small. Yeah, that one is very, I think it got like a birth defect or something. I don't know. Or maybe just a late bloomer. Because it's always like shaking the wings. You see how it shake the wings? It's like shivering. I don't know. Oh, that poor mom. Like, they can eat on their own. Look at these ones are eating on their own already. Oh, so sweet. Yeah, he went like, uh-oh. He landed there and said, I better get out of the way. Yeah, I'm gonna go because the food is underneath the bench. So she's like, she don't come underneath the bench because I'm here. Anyway, and I'm peeing. Got to pee. Still recording it. Later.